The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else.
We don't want to know.
We're dedicated, yes.
To our favorite shows.
Oh, my circuit!
Everybody loves Hypno Toad.
Scary dog!
Pearson and Blurnsville.
Futurama!
Good evening. You are listening to a Radulich Broadcasting premier podcast TV party tonight. I'm your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and down there is my brother from another mother, the co-host with the most, the king of Sting. Let's keep doing that.
Keep going.
The bratty one.
There he is.
Across the continent of Europe, he's known as Dick Titten. Ladies and gentlemen, slap a turkey neck. It's Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Oh, Mark Radulich. Good to be back here talking to some Sam Crow. I've changed my name to Sam Starch tonight. What do you think of that? Yeah, it works. I'm in theme.
I'm with you, Jesse. I also would like to run guns temporarily for a mob outfit so that I can make things
you see how long you can get away with that.
Well, we'll talk about it. Me and you will talk about it. Our new life of crime that we're going to embark on so we can make some money.
Sure. You got to get me out of the basement first. If there's tunnels involved, is there tunnels involed? Because I don't know. I might be all right.
Who are you, John Rambo? Like, why do you have their tunnels?
No, just I don't want to. As long as I don't get above ground, I'm all right. I tried to explain to my daughter. So just real quick, I know we're going to introduce our third person here in a second, but my daughter went on a.
Yeah, I forgot that I was here too.
He's here. He's just listening. No, my daughter went on a vacation, and the second day of her vacation, she got sun poisoning, horribly. Like sunburn all over the place. And I tried to explain to her, have you learned nothing from your dad to stay in the basement away from the sun? Don't go out on any beaches. Don't go outside. Now you get a bunch outside on you, end up with a really bad case of second-degree burn.
Outside on you.
There you go. Anyway, just to derail that intro, don't get outside on you. Keep me in the basement. That's where I'm staying. Is there tunnels involved, though?
Okay. There was tunnels in John Rambo, is what I was starting to say before. I had all kinds of freezing issues there. It doesn't seem like I'm frozen anymore. Tommy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Ladies and gentlemen, also joining us tonight, he's back. He missed season 2 because he was off in the woods living deliberately, but he's back now. The misfit and miscreant himself, formerly of the Screaming Boy podcast. He hosted a Fallout show, don't you know? Ladies and gentlemen, good to his mother, Ronnie Adams. How do you do, sir?
I'm good, man. That was a good little intro. I am good to my mother. I did go live deliberately and get the outside on me for a little bit. Though it wasn't sun poisoning, it was just mostly ticks. But being from North Carolina, living in North Carolina, being from West Virginia, you have to look out for those things. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
I celebrated my birthday, my 48th birthday this past Sunday, rather.
Did.
But this past Saturday
too,
as part of my birthday celebration, I went to one of the many clothing optional resorts and I got lots of sun. Here's what's funny about that. I won't go into it long. People are here to hear us talk about Sons of Anarchy season 3 and 4.
I've seen your naked karaoke videos on TikTok. It's not actually all naked. It's you have underwear on.
Basketball shorts.
so
I don't wear
yeah.
underwear to the clothing optional resorts. But I forgot my hat and sunscreen. So there's a part of the particular clothing optional resort that I went to in Orlando. We went into the second pool, like the smaller pool, and there's a part where one of the umbrellas where, you know, that are over the beach chairs is hanging over the pool. And let me tell you how me and another guy were like crowded underneath that umbrella for a good part of that day because we were like, oh, we can't get sun on us.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Midway through the day, I finally got sunscreen. I was so mad at myself for leaving my avocado hat home. My avocado hat that I got for Rockville. Because again, my bald ass cannot be out there in the sun because that's how you get the other kinds of cancer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So season 2, Ronnie, you weren't here for that, but it ended with that was the whole like white nationalist Henry Rollins thing. Jesse and I talked at length about that. We had a good conversation. It ended with the Irish were none too pleased. Now the Irish are a big part of the Sons of Anarchy crew. They are the ones that supply. It's the real IRA. They supply the Sons of Anarchy with the guns that they sell to the Mayans and the 19ers and whoever else has to buy guns from them. So there was an issue there with part of the Irish mob, and the way it was handled was, well, we'll just steal your baby. That seems fair. And so he fucked off. And we are left with, you know, he's on like a boat with the baby. He's like waving him in the air, like, I'll get you next time, Jackson. Next time.
Go on, blanket Jackson out the window.
So, and then Jack's like, you know, almost dove into the water after them. And they're like, no, bikers can't swim. So they held on to him. And that was how season 2 ended. So just really quick, like 50 words or less, Ronnie. What did you think of season 2 since you weren't here to talk about it?
So I'm a Henry Rollins fan anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a better actor than he has any right to be. Like he really, for somebody, if you know who Henry Rollins is, I was really shocked he played that part that well.
Yeah.
Because he is not a white nationalist whatsoever. But to my knowledge, I don't know him personally or anything.
No, he's not a Nazi. I assure you.
I know he's not a Nazi. Yeah, I know. So I enjoyed it. I mean, like it still has that gearing up feeling.
Yeah.
And then the baby theft at the end was like, oh, well, this missed a couple of steps somewhere.
It's like that meme of the kid where he's like
Yeah.
he's walking up like 6 flights of stairs, or 6 stairs rather, all at once.
Yeah. It's just like, well, this you done this wrong, so we steal your baby, you know. But so I was interested in it enough to keep on watching through season 3, and beyond. Of course, I finished the whole series, but yeah, it was. I enjoyed season 2, and up until and not to say I didn't enjoy the ending, because it made me want to watch it to see where it went.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the best way possible, but it's just kind of like, guns and drugs and bikers and Irishmen. Hey, we got your baby. What? Why?
I was talking to Robert about this. I said the hard thing about doing this particular show is when Jesse and I did the David Simon stuff, there was always like socio-political stuff to talk about. There were things to dig into. These were kind of deep shows. And so once you got past the drama and the craft, there was still other stuff to talk about. Here, this is all drama. And I'll tell you that though, as much as I like season 2, like I think I said to you, Jesse, I like season 2 better than season 1. But when this is a delayed review, we were supposed to do season 3 last month, but we didn't. So we're doubling up season 3 and season 4. But I can tell you, like going into the end of season 3, I like the back half of it with when they go to Ireland and they're dealing directly with the Irish mob. But I still, the show still hadn't hooked me yet. I was kind of still just doing this because we all wanted to do a podcast together, and you were really excited about Sons of Anarchy, Ronnie. So I was like, all right, you know. And again, going back to some stuff that my friends have said, they're like, oh my God, this was the best show on TV. And I'm like, you know, it's good soapy drama. Agreed, but it didn't really hook me. And we'll get into season 4 in a little bit. But season 4 is where I became a huge fan of this thing. So I say that to say, like, season 3 is a slog. Like, that's that first half where they're dealing with Gemma being on the run after the shooting at the end of season 2, and then them trying to track down the baby, you know, and the one priest is playing hot potato with the baby, you know. And it isn't until the baby goes to Belfast and the bikers all go to Belfast after the baby that things get really interesting. What did you think, Jesse? Just kind of digging into season 3 here, how it was. It's weird. By the time season 3 ends, I would have been okay if the show had not had a 4th season. Knowing what the 4th season is, I'm a dope because the 4th season is awesome. But but if I had been watching the show live when it was airing on FX, and I had gotten to the end of season 3, I'd have been quite satisfied with it being over and kind of like, oh my God, this show is up to this point was for me was a bit of a drag. What say you?
Yeah. Okay. So as when we get into season 3, I don't know, the stuff with Jax's baby kind of wore on me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he's got my baby. I gotta find my baby. And
take a drink every time they say family or baby in season 3, and you will die of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. So I remember when we got into season 3, I was like, okay, I'm going to clearly, I'm doing it for this, obviously, to hang out and talk with you guys. And of course, the wife loves the show as well. I know I've said that plenty of times on here. But I feel like, honestly, getting into I'd say the first, my goodness, 2/3 of season 3. Okay, whatever. But then towards the end, as some things really start to like wrap up, there are there's 2 or 3 episodes that were just like, holy shit, what is going on now? Because it was, there were so many moments towards the end of this and resolutions too, where I was like, okay, I was on board for season 4 at the end of season 3. I didn't want to see it wrap up because there was a lot of things, a lot of bright spots in this season that made me go, okay, if they can build off of this and get into season 4, it'll be even better. And yeah, they do some good stuff with season 4, but yeah, as far as season 3 goes, and the whole, got to go over to Belfast. We have all sorts of craziness going on with these motorcycle gangs. I made it through.
I'm just going to jump right into it because to me, it was the most memorable and honestly the most interesting thing about season 3, and that's the finale. Feel free to kind of like backtrack and bring up other stuff if you want. But as I'm thinking about like what do I want to talk about tonight, what feelings do I want to share, what things that I see in this season that are worth discussing on the podcast, that finale is bananas. And more specifically, the interaction between Stahl and Jax at the end. So Jax, about midway through the season, is getting nowhere with getting this baby. There's, like I said, it's a lot of hot potato. It's a lot of him just being the worst detective ever. He's like kicking down doors. He's trying to find clues to find the baby. At one point he pulls a mask off a guy. He's like, I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling bikers. It's just a lot of that going on. And he's just running around in a circle. He can't get to this kid. And finally he goes to Stahl. And he's like, look, what do you need? I need you to help me get this kid back. I need you to help us get to Ireland or whatever it was. Whatever deal he made with her. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm not really interested in your stupid, nickel and dime motorcycle crew. What I want is the real IRA. That's the case here. He's like, fine, help me get my baby back. I'll deliver you the Irish. And so off they go to Ireland, and the stuff in Ireland's interesting. Like there's a lot of tension with how that country works and what they do with the bikers, and You know, there's different sides. It's not just like the Irish are not the Borg. You know, they're not just dealing with one entity that's all going in the same direction. There's fighting between different factions within the Irish mob as well. There's a lot of history with Jax's dad, which plays out big in season 4 with the letters that he wrote. And all that stuff is all good. When they get back to the States, though, and they're supposed to deliver Fallon, and he has that confrontation with her, and I laugh because, you know, like, she's like, haha, I'm going to give you up to your gang now. I'm evil, you know, and she's like, you know, she's like, oh, I got everything I wanted and you'll get nothing. Ha ha. And you're like, what? And you're like, this can't possibly be how it's going to end. And then the next thing you know, Opie, Chibs, I think Pig, and, you know, all fucking hijack her convoy. Chibs gets to kill Fallon finally. He gets his revenge. Which, by the way, we just talk about that for a second. He like pulls his like little knives out and like cuts them up. Like, what would like, that was like oddly specific way to kill somebody.
Oh well, I think that was on purpose because
that's
how obviously Chibs got his scars. Was what do they call? I can't remember what they called it.
An Irish smile. Or
There
like
you
that.
go.
Irish smile.
Yeah,
or a double or last cow smile.
Yeah, there you go. He, you know, paid it back.
Yep.
And I like that. I love that. He had him right there, dead to rights, grabs the knives, and then just goes to town and kills that guy and watches him die. Right. So I'm all right with it. I feel that was just one of those situations where it's like he had to do him that way.
Yeah. I want to talk about this because it leads to like, I think like the most emotional part of that episode for me. One of my issues with Sons of Anarchy is that Jax really doesn't change much as a character. You know, he after the end of season 1, where him and Ron Perlman's character are at odds. That's just sort of the nature of the show. Ron Perlman wants to take the motorcycle gang in this very, very dark criminal way, and he has his followers. And Jax is like, I don't feel comfortable with any of this. And the more he gets involved with Tara, the more he wants out of this stupid gang life. And that's the same beat through 3 to 4 seasons so far of this show. Ron Perlman is the same fucking character. Jax is the same character. The most interesting character is Opie. You know, and this poor bastard. So after they gunned down his wife because they were trying to gun him down because they think that he's a stool pigeon. And then we won't even get into what happens in season 4 with Piney just yet. But you know, he's part of this group that takes her that jacks the convoy. And he gets in the car with Stahl and he tells her, grab the steering wheel. And she knows she's a fucking goner.
She's dead.
And for 3 seasons, she has been
crying the entire time.
Oh, that's what I'm getting at. For 3 seasons, she has just been this cold, icy, manipulative bitch.
And I think it's it's in this season where she gets her partner killed.
Right.
Or actually shoots her partner. I'm sorry. Isn't that what happens? Like she ends up shooting her own partner in order to do some kind of dirty deal. But yeah, I mean, she's, as far as manipulation goes, yes, she's evil.
She is the worst. And what makes her like even more bad is how like she seems to relish in the evil shit that she does. Like she seems to relish in how awful, you know, how harder she's making everyone else's life and what a bastard she is. So then we get back to Opie, and Opie has her dead to rights. And with a quivering lip, she's like physically shaking. Like the actress who plays Stahl is really, really good.
Well, fantastic.
She is fucking about to lay an egg. And she has that line like, Opie, you showed me mercy once. And he was like, yeah, we're done here. Once. And he just shoots her in the back of the fucking head, put your brains all over the windshield. It was the first
because that's pretty much what they did to his wife.
Yeah.
It was the this was much more intimate and much worse.
Well, sure. But
you know, again, they fucking drive by Donna. they did a drive-by on Donna. It was utterly impersonal. It was like just an execution. This this was very much a like.
I will never pretend to be like these guys or
Mhm.
Punisher or whatever. But if somebody just did a drive-by on my wife, it would get personal. I mean, like,
depends on
it's
which
gonna
wife
get
we're talking
personal.
about.
I have none. So my imaginary one.
Okay.
But I have a theory I'd like to share with you all.
Okay.
This is not my favorite season. I think we've
Yeah.
all pretty much agreed that this is not the best season out of all of them. In fact, this is probably the downer of all of them. This is probably the worst one.
Yeah.
Would it have been better, because we have not mentioned her once? Well, we've mentioned her once. Would it have been better if we hadn't had to go through the whole Gemma story, side story?
I mean, if they had written it out entirely and just not done that, I mean, because that was the stinger with season 1, well, season 2 rather, was that she goes on the run.
Well, I mean, like, it's her storyline felt drawn out, and then she had the whole
season feels drawn out.
Yeah, it's like they almost try to like. It's like they ran out of like strong ideas.
Yeah.
Towards the end of season 2, and they're like, kidnap the baby, make Gemma go on the run, and then she has a heart attack, and then the moon explodes,
and then the dam broke.
And then the dam broke.
To Ronnie's point, it does feel like they were done with after season 2, and they didn't know they were coming back, and FX was like, "We have nothing else. Like, go please. Like, the shield is gone. Please come back.
If we don't have you. We have nothing."
Yeah, so like, sorry, we don't have Nip Tuck anymore. We don't have the shield. Please come back. And Kurt Sutter is like, and do what? Like, how many more seasons of Hamlin on motorcycles are we gonna do here? And they were like, FX is like, all of them. We're doing all the seasons. Get back in the room and write, monkey. And and off he went. So season 2 does kind of feel like they were just trying to like pull shit out of their ass. That's why I think like season 4 comes off so good, because they clearly. Like, okay, we know the FX is not canceling us anytime soon. We have a lot of real estate to play with. So
they just threw crap against the wall for season 3 and said, okay, that'll hold you over. Let's write a real show.
Yeah. Okay. Look, we forget about those first 3 seasons. Let's actually write the show now. We have plenty of seasons to go, to play out the storyline. Jesse, you were starting to say something about
with Katie Seagal, Gemma's storyline. I don't know. There's a couple moments where, I mean, she definitely earns her spot as far as an actress goes.
Katie Seagal is so good in this.
Yeah. I remember this season. This is the season where she starts to deal with her dad having dementia. And man, that moment when she had to put him in the hospital or the nursing home.
I forgot about that.
I felt that. I mean, but yeah, was it necessary for this? I don't know. It obviously gives you, the idea of the depth of more depth to her character and what she's going through to make you care for her. But I don't know. Like, removing that and her being on the run, we got the sexual tension between her and Tig at that one point, which was interesting.
God, Tig is so stupid.
Tig's an idiot. But yeah, there's, I agree with you guys as far as what we've seen so far. I think season 3 for me is probably the weakest season out there, because we split everybody up. They're over across the sea. And, I just felt like, okay, somebody abducted a motorcycle club's son's baby. And in order to, possibly get revenge, which I guess at the time made kind of sense because it was a son for a son. But taking him over to Belfast, all right, let's take a look at the
I hate to say it. Sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
I hate to say it. I guess I just don't care for her character that much. Katie Seagal, I love Katie Seagal. Don't get me wrong. I'll even watch her in The Connors, for goodness sakes, as Dan's second wife. She's a wonderful actor, and I've been aware of her since Married with Children, and even then I was like, man, you know, I look back now and all the little things that she does in that show. She's good, but it's the character and
You don't like
the
Gemma?
fact that she can draw. I don't know
Okay.
why. She's got some
Well,
cool. She's got some cool moments. She really.
Can we
does.
talk about how like there's really not like I don't want to say likable because I think you can like characters even if they're near to well. There's not a positive character in the show. That was what I said when we first started discussing this. I said this is a cast full of people I want to see fail. Like that's the problem. Is like in order for you to root against Stahl, who is the villain of this show, they have to make her the devil. Because she's dealing with people who are not good people. These are murderers and gun dealers.
At what point did you all realize I'm cheering for a bunch of drug and gun running villains?
Yeah, it's hard. It's what makes it hard to watch the show. It's like why I almost didn't make it to season 4.
You're cheering for Jax because you want Jax to take this thing over.
Why are you acting like Jax is so innocent and all?
Well, he's not. But the thing is that you want him to take control of this club because what it is right now is not his father's vision.
You know who I'm rooting for? Fucking Opie.
Opie, I was rooting for. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to bring up before we start talking about season 4. That's the character I feel the most bad for. That's the character who, when he killed Stahl, I'm at least sympathetic. Stahl did all this crap to him. Stahl is the reason Donna got killed in the first place. They shot her, but they thought they were shooting at Opie. But she's the one that made Opie look like he was the turncoat, and they were dealing with things the way a violent biker gang deals with things. But through over the course of 3 seasons, and then as we get into season 4, especially, you can I don't see Jax's soul dying. This is not a battle for Jax's soul. It's sold to us that way. The show is sold to us as this is the battle for Jax's soul. It's not. He is the way they write him, he is very clearly, got a mind of what things should be, what they shouldn't be. He is very dedicated to Tara. He's very dedicated to his children. He's a good dude, just caught up in kind of a shitty culture. Opie is the one who, when we meet him, he is trying to do good. And he's like, well, he's like me. I was joking at the beginning of the show. I just want to do a little crime. I just need to make some money. Mm-hmm. I need to catch up on some bills, and then I'm out of this. And it's like, they're going to kill his wife, and then they're going to kill his dad, and all this other shit's going to happen to him. And then, and at some point, he's just going to be like, he's just untethered. Porn star and he's just utterly untethered. Everyone has betrayed him. Nobody, God, I can relate. Everybody has betrayed him. Nobody is good, and he's just spiraling out of control and becoming this, heartless, fucking violent character. It's great.
Yeah,
and he's the guy. I'm like, somebody save Opie's soul.
And not to say that all biker gangs are like this. This is obviously dramatic. There is some biker gangs out there that are violent and all that. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, I don't know. Going real quick, going back to Gemma. Like I said, she's got some cool, oh gosh, what's her name? The drug addict.
Jax's first wife. Or first, I know what you're talking about.
Destiny, Starfish,
close.
Tits McGee,
Samson,
the girl from the Sopranos,
Salami, Samsonite. But when she pretty much just leaves the needle, laying there, it could take care of itself, or whatever. However she says, I can't remember. I was like, okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty cool. But I don't know, man. She just she's the most wish-washy character to me because she's like, oh, Jax, I want to help you. I want to do this. I want to do that. But don't piss off your stepfather, And then she goes, she's working all the angles. But she's not doing it well, And then she has the hots for Tig. And Tig is probably the worst one of them all. Just morally. And he's... he is awful in this, but I don't know. Just maybe she just did her job that well that I just don't like the character, But I don't know. I just with her, I was just like, okay, just maybe she'll die with the heart attack, and we don't have to put up with it anymore.
I didn't. I
But
don't feel that way. I mean, my goodness, I feel like she's absolutely made me dislike her, and then she has those moments which might feed into your
yeah,
wishy-washy thing. Then she has these moments where you feel sorry, you have empathy for her, you have empathy for what
yeah,
she's going through,
She
and then
was
she
just
also seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders, and then all of a sudden she doesn't. She's
she
doing
was described to me as she's another one that was described to me when people had seen the show and were trying to sell me on it. It's like, oh my god, she's like the worst woman in like television history.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My
And
wife.
I'm like worse than fucking the Breaking Bad wife. No, thank you.
She is not Skylar White level
No.
of bad.
Right.
Skylar White is terrible.
Yeah, Skylar White is easily the worst television wife ever.
That poor actor still gets.
I've never sympathized more with a man wanting to kill his wife than I did with with the characters from Breaking Bad. I'm like, no, I get it, Walter. But just kind of closing this up, and we can move on to season 4. I don't mind the Gemma character. I think she was described to me as like worse than the devil, and I'm like, I don't think she's that bad. Like honestly, I think she chose a submissive role. Let's start there. She chose to be they call her old ladies, but what they are submissive wives. Like you do as your biker man tells you to do. You're blindly supportive. I think it's season 4 where Ron Perlman beats the shit out of her. Ron Perlman's line, this was quality. Like, I laughed out loud, but because I'm me, he was just like, all you need to do is have just enough money to take care of the house, and have enough money to take care of the house, and just enough to amuse yourself. The rest of it is mine to do as I please, and it's none of your fucking business. And the look on Katie Seagal's face as that character is just like, you're not wrong, but ouch. Did you have to say it out loud? He's obviously the line is written to make him look like an evil bastard. But again, this is the culture they've all agreed is going to be, is all agreed to fully take part in. And I think like,
you can't give Ron Perlman a line like that and not expect it to come off as like awesome.
It really was. I was like, woo! I was cheering. But just to close up with Katie Seagal, the way she comes across is she's very much dealing with the hand she's dealt, and these are not Mensa students. Oh my god! If I have to hear them talk about family one more fucking time, I'm gonna eat my computer. I'm just gonna bite the screen. So here you have this woman who has not much of anything. She's
Vin Diesel about it.
She's, very submissive to Ron Perlman because she kind of has to be. So all she has kind of left is family and maybe some lesser people that she can kind of push around, like what's his nuts with the no fingers, who I love. Like I love the way she talks to him.
Great character, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Good.
Guy.
Come on, Stubby. But I mean, she also uses and manipulates Wayne. God, we've all been Wayne, where you love this hot ass woman who always chooses another guy, but keeps you around for just enough of what she needs you for. Just gives you just enough hope to keep you on the hook. Poor fucking.
All right, I gotta go now. You hit.
We hit her nerve.
For me.
We hit her nerve.
And so it's hard to watch her because you know what she's doing and you know why Wayne falls for it because we've all been Wayne. But so it's hard to watch. But again, it's like I get it. I don't hate her for it. And then again, so she wants her grandchildren around. She wants her son around. She wants her son to take control of this biker gang because it's the only thing she fucking knows at this point. So she's making decisions based on what limited stuff she knows and what limited life she has. So that doesn't make her evil in me. I can sympathize with that. I may not agree with it, but I can at least sympathize. Jesse, anything else about season 3 before we move on to season 4? I know you have a whole second half of the show that we're going to deal with moments or whatever. But
I was going to say I could do
season
season three moments right now since we're talking season 3. We'll just
Sure,
go
let's
through
do
them
that.
real quickly. All right, and then we'll do season 4, then season 4 moments.
Let's see how many of these I actually remember.
Okay. I want to go episode by episode here. I only picked a few moments out of these, but number 1 moment for me out of episode 1 was Officer Hale getting killed like outright. One of these main characters gets caught up in the drive-by that I thought was going to be a main antagonist to the club. You know what I'm talking about here? The officer, I can't remember his first name, but Officer Hale. It was just like out of the blue, he's dead. First episode of the season. Yeah, I was like, okay, he's gone.
Oh, Officer Hot Pants, right?
The guy that was, I thought he was going to be groomed to become like the sheriff, and then I was like, oh, okay,
you would think that he was going to be like the main antagonist of this motorcycle gang, and they're like, nope, kill Whitey. Off you go, pal.
He's gone. Episode 2, Jim's father shoots Tig. While he was getting it on, apparently, and he thought there was an intruder in his house, and he shoots Tig in the shoulder.
I mean, how many times have you thought someone was fucking in your house and you shoot them and you're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Episode 3, Caregiver, where Stephen King appears as Bachman, a body disposal expert. So that was pretty cool. You know, when he goes downstairs and they're like, I can't remember the quote, but he's like, he ends up going like, what body? Because he ended up with the body. Episode 4, I already talked about this, Jim's father being placed in a nursing home, and there was some real dramatic moments that made you go, man.
I have my parents are in their late 70s, and I'm not looking forward to those to when I finally have to do something with my parents if it gets that far. So like I got it.
Right. Episode 5, Jax makes the deal with Stahl, offering Jimmy O in exchange for his mother's freedom and reduces sentences for the club. You can't be a rat. Boy, is that a thing. You don't want to be a rat, and he's really
make a recommendation that all future deals between criminals and law enforcement be done with one of them wearing a nightie. I don't care which one, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a male and a female.
Okay.
But someone should be wearing lingerie at all times. That's hot shit.
We did not mention the near big mishap that occurred between Jax and Trinity over in Belfast, where I was wondering, I was like, we're not going there, right? We're not going to go there where he's going to actually possibly sleep with his sister that he doesn't know about, right? Oh my gosh,
I needed that to go all the way for them to have done it and then find out after. Like,
Jax's line to his mom, I think it's his mom. He's like, I almost was in Tig territory there. And I was like, that was something else.
I mean, who amongst us hasn't accidentally banged our sister?
Okay, everybody raises their hand immediately. Episode 10. We had the situation where Salazar kidnaps Tara and Margaret. We didn't talk about Tara too much this season, but we find out that her boss used to be a biker bitch, which was really cool. And Salazar gets his, by the way. Salazar
incompetent criminal.
Yes. Episode 11 is where I was talking about where Stahl betrays her lover and work partner, whatever they're Tyler, which just like you said, make her the devil. And then episode 12, we find out why Tig and Kozik have a problem with each other, and it turns out it's over a dog. There was a dog that apparently, I don't know what happened, but they were talking about it the whole episode. I can't remember the dog's name, like Rosie or something like that. So everybody's assuming it's a girl. Nope, turns out there's some bad beef about a dog. And then, of course, with the finale, I think biggest moment of the whole season is Stahl getting hers with the, just 3 or 4 bullets in the back of the head. It's good. It was good stuff. So there you go. There's season 3 big time moments.
All right. So season 4, the big thing coming out of season 3 into season 4 was that it was Maureen or whichever character it was, put letters in Jax's bag. And Tara finds them, and they're a big source of contention for season 4 because in these letters, basically, John, they are written by Jax's father, John, and John basically says, I know that Ron Perlman and Katie Seagal are together. I'm afraid they're going to kill me. Yada, yada, yada. There's stuff about Wayne in there. So it basically, if these letters get out and Jax finds out, he's going to know that his mom screwed over his dad. Ron Perlman was pretty much implicated in murdering his father, and Wayne's implicated in covering it up. So nobody wants Jax to find these, and Tara doesn't bring them to Jax because she's afraid that if he reads the letters, he'll react poorly. He'll do the opposite of what she wants, because she wants Jax to pull out of this motorcycle group.
Get out. Yeah. Get out of here. Jax is on board for that. He wants out too.
Yeah. Jax wants out too. Jax is very much, because it's all about family.
Did you say family?
I did say family.
And then he smacked himself.
I need the writers in Hollywood to do better. There are more things in life than, or unless people are really like this dumb, and this is how people think and talk. And this is a really relatable show. It's all about family. Ugh. Anyway,
Have you been on Facebook lately?
I suppose.
People are that dumb.
Yeah, but yeah, he wants out of it, and so the big thing with season 4 is that Ron Perlman made a deal with the Galindo Mexican crime cartel to sell them guns, and they're just like, we need weapons of mass destruction. How many H-bombs can you get us? We need
a few of those.
You know, like, here's some automatic weapons and some handguns. That's great. We need grenade launchers. Like, what the fuck? So the big thing is linking the Mexican cartel to the real Irish terrorist organization, because the real IRA have massive weapons of like mass destruction. They have the rocket launchers. They have weapons of war, and that's what the Mexicans need. And there's a lot of like discussion in this season about, do we really want to arm the Mexican mob with military grade weapons? Is this what we want to do? And you know, Ron Perlman's character is like, yeah, absolutely, whatever it ends with a big payoff. I have no moral ambiguity about this at all. I don't care. You know, there's a lot of that going on. Piney finds out about the letters. I don't think he ever actually reads them, but he's basically like, oh shit, everything I hate about this club is Ron Perlman's fault, and you know, Jax needs to know. And it gets Piney shot, because once Ron Perlman finds out about it, you know, he's gunning for Tara, he's gunning for Piney, and eventually he kills Piney. He just shoots him dead. Looking for the letters that aren't there. And then
I hated when Piney died.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Then he puts out a hit on Tara, which goes poorly, as all hits do. And the whole season is them them in bed with the cartel, and what that means, and this gets them involved with another cartel, a different cartel, like Los Lobos or something. It's a cartel run by Richie Valens. Nothing. All right, moving on.
Richie Valens.
I got it. It took me a little bit to process. I don't know why. It was just like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's great. So yeah, La Bamba is at war with the Galindo family, and so they're having to deal with that. And there's a lot of just infighting in the club about whether or not, like, Bobby's like had it with fucking Ron Perlman at this point. Like, I really, like, we just wanted to run some machine guns and some, and some nines, not this bullshit.
All right.
So there's a lot of that. And then we have a new sheriff in town. It's the African American fellow. I liked him, actually.
Roosevelt,
yeah. He is here to try to restore some order to Charming. It goes as well as you might expect. And then we have a U.S. Assistant District Attorney who's got a wire case going on, Jesse.
Oh, goodness.
That Situation Room, just like, it's like The Wire.
Yep.
The one in the corner. So yeah, they've got a whole situation there, and they're like leaning on witnesses, like the fuck's his name with the tattoos on his head, the one that's half black.
You're talking about Juice,
yeah. Oh, Juicy boy. So like he's leaning on Juice, and they kind of have a relationship. They eventually turn Otto, poor fucking Otto,
Oh, Otto. Oh my goodness. Otto.
And that gets Bobby, and then this all leads to they're gonna get the cartel, the Irish, and Sam Crow all in the same room together, all with guns. It's gonna be a big thing, and the CIA shows up and says, "No, you're not. No,
Yep.
the fuck, you're not."
Yeah. He had all that whole fucking thing it's ready to go.
Ever get ready for something and just the whole thing shuts down? You're like, I was all dressed and ready to go.
Man, I hate it when I get dressed for a night out and it ends up in a Mexican standoff with the IRA and
Everyone's ready to fuck, and then suddenly it's just like, well, we can't. Like, everyone's got to go home now, and it's just like, but I've got condoms. Like, well, fuck off.
I've got
Anyway.
COVID. Oh, okay, we're going home.
Two separate places with that, didn't we?
We are two separate people.
Like,
So yeah, the CIA shows up, and they were like, no. This is how we keep things stable in Mexico. We give the Galindo mob fucking instruments of war. And then as it turns out, Acevedo from The Shield, fresh off his blowjob, and and what's the actor's name from Machete?
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trujillo. We're just like, yeah, we're CIA agents. Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need you to make nice with the Irish who don't like you and only like Ron Perlman. And we're gonna need you to continue to get the Irish to sell Mexicans guns. Lots of luck, pal.
Bit of a pickle.
And if you don't, we'll destroy your life and everyone in it. We're the CIA. Fuck off. And so Jax goes to the hospital where Opie has shot Ron Perlman to death. And he gets in and he was just like, the only reason why you're alive is because I need you to deal with the CIA and the Irish. Other than that, you're not in you're barely in this club. You're certainly not running it anymore. Stay away from my wife. Stay away from my mom. Stay away from my kids. Stay away from human beings. Stay away from motorcycles. All of it. Just stay away. But only deal with the Irish. And Ron Perlman says, I want to go do Hellboy. So, and then he goes back to the club. He tries to get Opie to join him, and Opie's like, you have lied and cheated and murdered, and no thank you. So we don't see Opie, but he shows back up at the club. Tara decides to stay with him. They do a nice dissolve into the picture of John and Moira or Maureen, whatever her name is, and that's how season 4 ends. But this is where it hooked me, guys. Season 4 is awesome.
Okay.
And those so I fucked up again. It's kind of like my Cat Stevens thing, Jesse, where like I went to put Metallica on, I put on Cat Stevens instead, and I'm like, is this new Metallica? This is terrible. I had one of those moments where Opie shoots Ron Perlman, and I thought that was the end of the season.
Oh really?
Yeah. I didn't know there was like 2 more episodes left. I'm
Yeah.
like, no! Opie shoots Ron Perlman. I'm like, there's got to be more. I'm like, oh, it turns out there was.
Yep.
Yeah, I was watching at Jen's house, and I thought the fucking thing was over. I gotta go into season 5. Oh wait, there's 2 more episodes left. Oops. So, what an awesome season! Like the stuff with I don't think the writing is always superb. You know, there's a lot of repetition. I mentioned the family thing that shit just bothers me to no end. Jax for me is like, he's not a bad dude, so you want him to succeed, but he's also kind of, to me, like a flat character. I'm more interested in like Opie, like I said. But that coming to a head of, you think they got Bobby, they got Juice, they have him dead to rights, they're right there, and the CIA turns it up, and oh no, like the CIA knew the FBI was setting up the DEA, and this poor Jax going, I just want to go to Oregon.
Please get me the hell out of here. Gosh.
And then that's that scene with Ron Perlman beating the fuck out of Katie Seagal.
Right.
That was rough, man. Like whether you like her or not, it's not good to see a man as large as Ron Perlman, is the size of a small moon, beat up Katie Seagal, who's no dainty woman, but Jesus Christ, man, he fucking beat her like it was a UFC match. And so, all right, I will. So that's kind of my preamble here. Jesse, what'd you think of season 4?
Oh yeah, we're in on it now. I mean, we're getting these new characters coming in, just like you were talking about. Roosevelt comes in.
Mm-hmm.
We got our new antagonist.
He has the best line at the end. He was just like, "Hey, you're a criminal. You do criminal stuff. I'm a cop. I stop you." I'd like to just get back to that. That's a me line. That's something I would say. Like, can we just get back to this over here? Everything we've been doing up to now stinks.
For sure. Lincoln Potter's the guy that's orchestrating everything. You know, he's our oh my goodness,
He's our mildly autistic fucking assistant attorney general.
He shows up like
attorney.
at first I was like, who's this biker guy? Who's this guy gonna be?
Yeah,
oh, he's the DA or he's the attorney.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Who's this pervert with the long hair on a motorcycle? What the fuck is this? Oh, he's a cop.
Oh man, he is my favorite character. I think as far as the season goes, and he may be in my top 3 by the time we're done with the series, because we get him for this season, and that's it as far as Sons of Anarchy goes. At least he's not showing up in season 5.
He has a great line too. His last line about why he interrupted the
it's great.
thing.
It is great
because the good guys needed a win.
Exactly, and I think that's why I like this character, because he comes in and all he's wanting to do is, you know, he is a good guy. He is there isn't an Agent Stahl situation here. I don't get any vibes like that. And then when everything gets derailed for him, he's like, I'll leave, but I'm leaving one thing in my wake. And that's when he goes to that meeting and makes sure that that guy, it's Hale's brother is trying to get some development land going, and he just kind of sabotages that by showing where all the money's coming from all the sex dolls and everything. So it was great. That's why I really like
not just sex dolls. They made child sex dolls.
That's yeah.
Because like he didn't have much of an argument with like, oh, they're making dildos. So who doesn't have a dildo? Jesse's got like 20 of them. Like that's like
behind the curtain.
Stop showing off your dildo collection, Jesse. I've told you 1,000 times.
Don't go along with it, Jesse.
However, nobody wants a child sex doll, and that's what they're making, and that's what the town.
Then they were like,
"Oh, hey, bridge too far."
Whoa, yeah, I don't want that funding. And so, yeah, Lincoln Potter, one of my favorite characters here.
I have to say though, you called him mildly autistic, and honestly, he plays the character like he has a touch of autism.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does.
Even Roosevelt's like, you're a weird dude, you know, and they you know,
yeah, like
whatever year this was, they couldn't be like, get a touch of autism.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not that. I mean, like, obviously, you know, if you're on the spectrum, I mean, people that aren't on the spectrum find it odd. But I mean, it's just like, you know, odd mannerisms and things like that. I mean, it's interesting to watch how he portrayed, you know, this particular character. But I mean, like season 4, out of the 4 that we have watched so far, is by far the best.
Yeah.
And it really dialed it up. Just like you said before, it's like 1 and 2, they're like, oh hey, here's this biker family gang thing, and you know, this is what they do, and they're all kind of pieces of crap, but we're going to make you like them. And then season 3 was like, oh god, we're still here. Just you intern, write something and give it to them while we're doing the real work, you know. And but they really dialed it up, and this has been the most enjoyable season for me so far.
I'm glad Theo Rossi gets a chance to shine a little bit in this season. You know, Juice, he's a very good actor in my opinion, and we get a lot of his storyline where he's obviously worried about getting ousted from the crew or from the club because of his racial background. And not only that, we have the situation where he stole some coke.
That's where it ends with him hanging himself not once but twice.
Right. It's you know, so there's a good bit of character development for Juice here. And while he was the funny guy that was laying out half naked in season 1, was it, I think, and now we're finally getting something a little bit more for this guy.
What a dedicated member of this club he is.
Yeah.
Like he is a true soldier.
A lot of loyalty there. But, you know, he does not only that, he's working with the cops, so he's worried about that.
Right.
But you know, when he comes clean to Chibs in regards to at least the racial thing, Chibs is like, what the I was waiting for somebody to do that, just be like, what's the big deal? You know, and why is it such a big deal?
Well, Chibs' approach to it is, well, what's it say on your birth certificate? It says Hispanic. Then you're Hispanic. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we'll call it a day. All this shit you didn't have to worry about.
That line, like, none of us know who our dads are. It's fine. Like, it's great. It's like, that was the other thing, is that so much of the first couple of seasons, are dealing with Ron Perlman and Jack. It's nice that there's a little bit more emphasis on some of the other characters and their relationships. Like, it was nice to see that Chips and Juice. Chips cares a lot about Juice, and that's sprinkled in throughout season 4. When he goes to Jack's and he's like, Chips is not in a good place right now. Like, what are we gonna do here?
Yeah.
And Jack's like, we're gonna end up voting him out because of this, that, and the other thing. And Chips is like, well, I don't want that. It's nice to see, like I said, so much of what we were focusing on is Ron Perlman and his his sycophants, and then Jax and his followers, and that little civil war that they've been having. It was nice to see there are other people in this club. They are people too, and they have relationships, and they are also important. So I like the Chips Juice stuff.
Yeah.
Chips, Tommy Flanagan, the actor,
Mm-hmm.
I like him in anything he does. I mean, granted, he gets a lot of the same thing over and over again, but I mean, you with the whole, like, he has a real, his scars are real. He was in, oh gosh, I think it was a bar fight or something, and they waited for him, and when they beat him down, they actually did the style.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just looked it up. I was curious. Knife attack outside a nightclub where he'd been working as a DJ.
Wow.
After leaving the club, he was attacked by a gang, stabbed and slashed with a knife, leaving him with the scars.
That gone.
Yeah, and then he went on to become an actor afterwards. But he is I think he's a fantastic actor. And anything he's in, I mean, like, shoot, what was one of my favorite roles he ever did was and he wasn't even hardly in it as himself, was in the Smoking Aces, where he was the hitman that always dressed as somebody else. But it was the fact that they let him and I can't remember Juice's actor's name, but
Theo Rossi.
Those two, Theo Rossi, that they let those two go at it in several different scenes. It's refreshing. It's a palate cleanser from having to put up with Ron Perlman and Jackson and Gemma and all their bullcrap. You get to see, like you said, the relationship between some of these other guys in the club. They're always talking about being family, but we only see the patriarch and the matriarch of the family, and so it's cool. I like it.
The bit where Ron Perlman thinks he's hiring a hitman to kidnap Tara and execute her because she's got the letters, and the letters implicate him as a murderer, and it's all too dicey. So he has the Galindo cartel have her killed, and so they go to kidnap her. And I swear to God, Jesse, I wish Jackety Sax had been playing during that scene. What a clusterfuck that was.
What a botch.
Yeah. I really don't have much of anything else to add necessarily about season 4. Like I said, I'm excited to see where season 5 goes next. Jack's at the head of the table.
I know what you're in for. I can tell you, be excited.
Opie's in the wind. Ron Perlman's kind of on the outs with the club. It's Jax's world. We're all just living in it now. So I'm curious to see how they handle it. How what more they do with the cartel and the Irish. That's still out there. They're still dealing with that. But overall, like I said, this was the first season that really hooked me, and I was super into. Like I said, and you can kind of tell by the way this review has gone. When you think about some of I was thinking, because Robert and I had this conversation. When you think about the kind of TV shows that you and I like, Alexis deals with the sludge. I don't deal with
the sludge.
I don't deal with a hoi polloi. She does like the, and so does Ronnie, to be honest with you. I mean, Ronnie did Fallout, he did Tulsa King. She does all like the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff. I think like the closest thing she does to anything that I would do would be Shogun, from what I understand. I tend to not do just like the soapy dramas. You and I tend to talk about transgendered babies and stuff like that. The Orville. When Jesse and I get we talk about Black Mirror because then we can have an hour and a half conversation about artificial intelligence and fucking pigs. Not the same season, but
we definitely 2 different episodes.
When Jesse and I get together, we it's one of the reasons why when Alexis wanted to talk about The Boys season 4 with us, I was like, please no, because I remember what our season 3 discussion was like. We were talking about toxic masculinity and PTSD, and you and I really dig into stuff. And so help me God, I tried. There's nothing to dig into with this show, but I think in terms of, talking about the drama, what I liked about the drama for an hour, it's not the worst hour I've ever spent podcasting. And so that's kind of where I'm at with Sons of Anarchy. I'm kind of like watching it and I'll process it with you guys for an hour and then I'm done. But it's not particularly deep. It's shallow, but as I've said before, just because something isn't deep and something isn't, mind-bending or deals with all the hot socio-political issues I like to talk about, doesn't mean it's not soapy good fun. I've been waiting to use that line all episode.
Soapy good fun.
Sons of Anarchy is just naked soapy good fun. And that's where I'm at with this. I had the most fun with season 4. I got the most soapy stuff in season 4, and I'm anxious to see what they do with season 5. And then we can get into, you give your final thoughts, Jesse, and then we can get into your moments list.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, as far as season 4 goes, absolutely 100% enjoyed it. Just when you think you're out, they pull you right back in.
Oh, wait, hang on. The one line where like they're going after the Donna Los Lobos, Richie Valens, La Bamba crew, and Acevedo's like, you need to get some men up here with with guns. And fucking Jackson's like beside himself. He's like, we're not a military unit. What do you want us to do? And I laugh because he's not wrong. Like could you imagine? Like, some of these guys might be like Iraq War or Vietnam vets, but like they're not exactly a fucking SWAT team or a guerrilla unit. And Acevedo's like we're gonna storm the fucking gates here. And he's like, we're like old fat guys on motorcycles. What do you want us to do?
You want Elvis?
Yeah, Fat Elvis.
Fat
Bobby,
Elvis.
get the machine gun. They're like, well, you want me to put shoes on, boss? Like, Bobby spends half of the episodes fucking like in bare feet, which I sympathize with. Trust me, as a man who loves his flip flops. All right, I cut you off because I had to share that line, but
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of drama. You're right, Mark. I mean,
wait, I'm gonna interrupt you again. So the Shield, Lem, right, burns the money train money and catches a bullet in the back of the head from fucking Walton Goggins. And in this way, he steps on a landmine. And I'm just wondering, do the guys who run these shows eventually fucking hate that actor? All right, in this episode, you step on a landmine. In this episode, we shoot you in the back of the head. In this one, you get fucked by a bull in a china shop. Wait, what?
You just have those certain, like, when you're writing and creating, you just have those certain people that you have to pick on.
Yeah,
I have a player in my Dungeons and Dragons crew that we do one shots, and anytime he plays a monk, I always plane shifting out of the game. So we're in the middle of a fight, and I'm like, all right, make a wisdom check, and he's like, I failed. I'm like, all right, you're now in the non-hells, and he's like, why?
I won't play with you anymore.
And he's just like, no, he finds it funny too. He's like, well, my character survives at least, And,
there you go.
All right, go ahead, Jesse.
But he, it's just, I just pick on him because, well, he's a good player, but I just pick on him.
Yeah, well, get typecast. That's what's going on with this guy, I guess. He gets typecast as a, all right, you're going to die in a weird way. So, yeah, I mean, we get the first 3 letters of Soapy or what?
Sons of Anarchy.
SOA. Oh, wait a second. You know what else you got? You got Opie. So yes.
Boo.
Boo. Get off the fucking program.
Get out, sir.
But yeah, man, you want to see Jax get out of this situation so bad, and that's what keeps you compelled. And then by the end of this, it's like he's back in the seat of he's decided he's just going to take over the club. Not only that, Tara, who is his one person that's got to come on, be with your family.
Right.
Let's get out of this. And she's embracing the role as well at the end of this. She's going to be by his side.
I really, when they smash her hand and she's just like, maybe I should smash my other hand so I can stay home.
Right.
Like I have to say, like, as much as I kind of picked at the writing, like there were some great really relatable lines in this show.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I mean, I absolutely definitely like this better than season 3. It was pretty easy, and it also, in my opinion, to enjoy this because we have number one, we got some new blood in here, some new characters, and we have some high scale drama, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I could get into my moments here. Ronnie, did you have anything you wanted to say before I get into those? You're good? You're good?
Jesse.
Yeah,
He's good. He's good.
Yeah,
All right.
Caught me off guard, Jesse.
No, that's okay, Ronnie Adams.
Ronnie, I didn't know he was on a podcast yet.
Who put me? What am I doing
so,
here?
You know I black out sometimes.
This is my house.
God.
He blacks out.
All right.
Season 1 of episode 4. Moment I have listed down here was
Pancakes.
Eli Roosevelt showing up here. He's in Charming. He's the new sheriff in town, and just like we talked about, it's he's immediately making his presence known.
Oh yeah, he shows up. Well, he showed up like 2-3 deep and just fucking trashed their clubhouse.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
What I loved about that is it took all season for them to fix the door.
Right.
It really did, didn't it?
Yeah, I kept waiting. They never addressed it again. But you can see, like, over the course of season 4, like, incremental fixes, and then at the very last episode, that's when they fix the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the Hateful Eight where they just kept putting the piece of wood over the door and all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these I kind of already talked about here. I mean, Juice stealing stealing the brick of cocaine. Tara facing danger due to her proximity to the club's illegal activities, which pretty much results in her, being a target of a hit and her hand getting smashed. Then when they find out that Clay was behind the hit on Tara, poor Piney. I mean, Piney getting killed this season. And yeah, just like you said, Opie unloading the gun and you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's dead. But no, Clay is definitely in a weakened state.
Clay came through the door at Piney like Rampage Jackson did in the in that season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
he fucking just Kool-Aid Man through.
Oh,
it's like, oh, Piney, and the door shatters.
And Opie unloaded a magazine into him, and through the power of family, he survived.
And power of family, the power of family.
That's great.
So yeah, I mean, we got some real tension between. You want Clay out of that seat, and Opie's the one who looks like he's about able to do it, but Jax, has to keep him around. Also, Jax is the one that has to stop Opie from killing him because number one, he doesn't think Opie would. He doesn't want Opie to go over that threshold. He doesn't want him to go over that cliff.
He also doesn't know what all Clay has done by that point.
Right.
Like, it's after that. One of the things I was going to say, and I'm actually glad you brought this up. One of the stronger points of the writing is that nobody, again, I said before, these are not Mensa students, but nobody is so stupid that they lie when they don't have to. Mm-hmm. Like, when Gemma finally realizes she has to tell Jax everything, she does. And it kind of reminded me of the Vic Mackey confession episode of The Shield, where he confesses to Ice everything that he's done since episode 1. It was that
Shield, baby.
Oh, such a good scene. But when she finally confronts Jax and tells him what all Clay has done, what she has done, and everything else, and she's like, yeah, here's everything that we're doing. And then later on, when he tells Tara, thank God, because if they had done an entire season of I can't tell you, Tara, about the CIA, I don't know if I would have made it through. I don't know if I'm going to make it through all of season 5. But nope, they deal with it in season 4 right away. He just goes home and goes, hey, we're not leaving. Here's why. And don't tell anyone or I'm dead. And she's like, oh, shit. Well, thanks for... It's one of those where it's like, it's always the guy is always in trouble, not for the bad thing that he does. Like, these women in these shows will tolerate all kinds of murder and mayhem and drug dealing and just the worst behavior. But God forbid you lie to one of these whores. That's it. That's the problem. Like, listen, you want to murder school children, and nuns. That's fine. Who doesn't? But don't lie to me about it. I'm your woman.
Your own time. What you do on your own time. Just don't lie to me about it.
Just don't lie to me. It's like every woman ever.
All right.
It's like I just want to know what terrible things you do because it's hot.
Yeah.
So
blew up a school bus full of deaf children and threw a nun off a cliff.
I robbed an orphanage. Thank you for telling me.
Just one nun? Okay, so why did you lie to me?
Don't lie. I have every STD and have banged every whore on the planet. Thank you for telling me. At least you didn't lie. I still love you. Anyway, so yeah, he tells Tara like right at the end. He's like, "Yeah, I can't leave. I'm fucking trapped by the CIA. Sorry." And she's like, "Oh, well, that changes everything. And thank you for telling me the truth. All is forgiven." Yeah. I actually do. I'm as much as I'm making light of it. I actually did really like that a lot.
Yeah, and the tension between Gemma and Tara as well, like that finally kind of comes. I wouldn't say comes to a head. Gemma doesn't do anything that doesn't seem to further her. I don't know, her favor clearly amongst herself. Whatever she wants to do. Let's just put it that way.
Gemma's only agenda is she doesn't want Jax to go away with the grandchildren. Like this woman's life is very, very small, and and if Jax takes away the grandchildren and goes away, all she has left is Clay, and that's not enough for her.
I was just kind of scrolling through some of these moments from TV time. Season 4, episode 13. Is that when Tig takes out? Oh
my God! I wish someone had shot Tig like they did Lem in The Shield. Just put a ball in the back of his head.
He takes off in the car and ends up killing that guy's girlfriend, the other rival, rival gang.
Season 5, here we go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
that is exactly
he accidentally instigated. Well, it's one of those things where I do sympathize with African American people because when this is the mentality, it's just like say a black guy did it, and everyone's like, yeah, that's fine. This isn't a problem. And Tig, taking it quite literally, is just like, I know where there's black guys, and like fucking runs down Del Rey, whatever the fuck his name is, and kills his woman. And like, oh,
he like takes a car.
I mean, and who hasn't wanted to run people down in a restaurant? I'm just saying, but you don't actually do it. And so this is gonna get played at my trial at some point.
Tig does.
But he accidentally now causes the war with the 1-9ers. The one thing Jax was like trying to prevent.
Yeah. It's not going to be good. So that is definitely setting up for season 5.
It's okay. Jesse's trying to like get the segment together.
I mean, I'm either froze or you guys are froze. I have no idea.
It's fine. Keep going.
I just like the fact that there was awkward silence and then Jesse to the rescue. Yeah.
I can keep talking. It's fine.
I'm just
anyway,
messing, but
one episode left to talk about. That's the final episode, and of course, Tara deciding to stay with Jackson, supporting him in his new role. I mean, that's you just wanted to see her leave, and she's not going to. And she's not going to. Should she take the kids and leave Jax? I mean, I feel like for the safety of my own kids, that would be the best decision. Nah,
I don't know. I mean, they're protected by the CIA at this point, and the CIA has a vested interest in keeping him and his family alive. I feel like Jax is like, we'll be fine.
Jax is.
Yeah, I mean, they're protected by the CIA, and then like, and she leaves them. Like, if she would leave him at that point as well, then she would no longer, more importantly, be covered by the power of family. And
you have got a point, sir. I forgot all about that.
Sorry, that's my last family joke. I'm sorry, Mark.
That's all I have, guys.
All right, Ronnie, we've been talking a lot here. I want to give you the last word here. Season 4. What are your thoughts?
It's great. No, it's
family.
Family. It's definitely the best season so far, in my opinion. I mean, I can't say much. I can't say much more than what you all already have. I mean, like, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, just like we all are pretty much like-minded on this season as far as we said, they actually put forth an effort in writing. But the highlights were really like it did. I mean, like, is it a passage? Is it a rite of passage with Sam Crow that everybody has to go on the run at some point? I mean, we've had
it's just a
Opie's
way
on
of
the
life.
run. Jim has been on the run. I mean, it's just like everybody's like, well, it's Tuesday the 30th. I guess it's my turn.
Time to go on a run.
And then they'll just like shoot a passerby and they got to go on the lam, you know. But it's man, if there's one character that you really get attached to, and I think partially through season 3 into season 4, because you kind of start watching the downward spiral begin, is Opie.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's and you just, I'm excited, you know, as far as everything. Like, I've seen it, but I'm going to watch it again. Season 5. I mean, it just keeps. Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong. It just keeps ramping up from here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I want to say season 4 is good. I'm going to go ahead and stake the season 5 is going to be better. I think Mark's going to come away with saying that season 5 is better than this one. So yeah, get ready. It's going to get better, Mark.
All right. Well, we will be back to talk season 5, assuming there are no hiccups like there was, on Wednesday, June 26th. Sons of Anarchy.
Just punch me in the head.
I'm trying to point at you, Ronnie. I can't. Here we go. There we
I know.
go.
Sons of Anarchy, season 5, Wednesday, June 26th.
And if I'm not here, I'll wear my scarlet letter on the next one.
All right.
Terrific. So that's that. As for what we're doing this week, tomorrow, I'm not doing anything tomorrow, but Alexis, Zach, and possibly Robert are going to talk Garfield on Damn You Hollywood.
Summer of Garfield. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Thursday, I am back. Myself and Evan Bevins are doing a comic strip for Bulletproof Monk. That'll be fun. That's, for those of you that don't know what that is, that's where we compare the comic to the book, to the comic to the movie or the television show.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I watched Bulletproof Monk with my son last night, and he sits at the table. I come home from work and I'm like, hey, let's sit at the table. Even if you guys don't eat, like, let's just, like, I haven't seen you guys in a couple of days because I went away to a clothing optional resort for my birthday. So it's like, hey, let's go hang out at the table. And my son looks at me and he's just like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Like, I have a rant I need to go on about Bulletproof Monk. Is it that he's just bulletproof? Like, do arrows affect him? And he went on this whole routine.
Hold on, son. Let me grab the phone.
He's like, yeah. Like, he goes on this whole fucking routine about, like, what if this was an ancient scroll where there was time before bullets? Why is he invulnerable to bullets? Is he invulnerable to all projectiles? And this went on for a good 10 minutes.
Mark, if there was ever any question about whether he's your son or not, just watch one of those rants. And you'd be like, no, yeah, he definitely, yeah.
Him yelling at the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity potato chips going, what are you? It's still one of my favorites.
That's hilarious.
What are you? Anyway, his old man ranting at potato chips. Speaking of which, next week, Ronnie will be back. Goddamn, pal. Ronnie will be back. We're going to be talking all things Bad Boys. So, Ronnie may or may not see the 4th one, but in case he doesn't, that's why we're not doing a Damn You Hollywood. That way I can still do a show.
You know, I try to go to watch movies.
I try to watch movies,
but I'm broke and I work 3
3
jobs.
I do.
I'm gonna try to watch the first one again with my son because it's a classic.
Man.
The second one, the only thing worthwhile watching is the downhill drive through everyone's house in Cuba.
That really is the only thing that's worthwhile.
It's so great. Them smashing houses indiscriminately. It's so good. Anyway,
and then the third one.
Ugh.
It was there. It was definitely there.
We'll talk about that on Monday the 10th. And then Jesse will be back with me for the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Hey, Jesse. Jesse, we're gonna be talking Bon Jovi on June 20th.
Oh,
Jesse, you gonna lay your hand on me?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you're going to feel it all the way from Ohio, right down there into Florida. Sure.
okay, that just got creepy.
Did you
You
know,
have a great radio voice, by
Jesse,
the way.
your love, Jesse Starcher,
Yeah.
is like bad medicine.
Oh, the bad medicine.
Bad medicine is
Oh.
what. Speaking of naked karaoke, have you ever seen my drunken naked rendition of "You Give Love a Bad Name"?
Yes.
I have not.
Oh, Ronnie, you want to describe that in vascular detail?
Oh,
I
please
bleach.
do. I bleach. Perfect.
I bleach.
Okay.
All right.
Actually,
Are we
it's
gonna-
quite hysterical.
Okay. All
What
right.
was that?
Duly noted. Are we going to be living on a prayer?
We are
I-
because we're wanted dead or alive.
Are you going to lay me on a bed of roses?
Do y'all want me just to leave and let you all have your moment? I mean, I can go get a glass of water or something.
Don't run away, Ronnie Adams. Don't run away.
Curl,
Run away.
don't run.
Run away. Run away.
Don't go away, Matt. Just go away. Wait, that's a different band.
Wait a second.
That's, Mark, I feel like you've actually made your true feelings known about me this morning.
Ronnie, I'll be there for you.
Oh, take me home to the
These
Paradise
5
City.
words.
That's also a different. These 5 words, I swear to you, when you breathe, I want to be the air for you, Ronnie Adams too.
It's beautiful. I don't think we've sang to Ronnie in a while.
We have not.
Okay.
Do I have, I mean, like, y'all don't do this often, but is there any alcohol in my room?
So that's what's going on with me. What's going on with you, Kitten Caboodle? That's you, Jesse.
Oh, that's me. Oh, hey, Ronnie. You better figure out you're not kitten caboodle around here.
I realize that I have lost any status I used to have with
kitten
you
caboodle
guys.
status. Just, no.
I'm
No,
neither
hey,
kit nor caboodle.
one thing I forgot to say about our buddy Potter here. I mean, I know I'm throwing it back into into what we're talking. The Potter from season 4, season 3, season 4. He's in 5 seasons. 5 seasons of Mayans, which I don't know if you've heard of Mayans there, Mark.
I watched the first episode or 2 of Mayans. I had even less interest in that than I did Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of right there with you, but I just saw on the wiki that he's actually in all 5 seasons. So there you
Do
go.
you like motorcycle shows? No. What if they're Mexican? No. Stop pushing this stuff on me.
Oh, poor Mark. Yeah. So recently, as of today, the source material comics feed dropped. Our discussion is me, and it was Dean, and it was Derry, and we talked Legion Quest, and yeah, it gets that gets you right into the Age of Apocalypse, taking you back to the 90s. So if you like 90s comics, we talked a 90s X-Men story.
I have a
Legion.
question. Did they have a lot of pouches?
Cable was in this, so the correct answer
was
is yes.
Liefeld anywhere near this?
This is 1996. Liefeld is hanging
yes.
out doing Youngblood. No, he's out. He's over. He's
Oh,
over
that's-
at Image
he's over
Comics.
at
I think.
Image, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
But
else
this
is an Image comic is Bulletproof Monk.
is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I've never read the comics, so that's pretty interesting.
I'm about to. Warm it up, Chris.
I'm about to. So, one really strange, interesting fact about Legion Quest is the fact that Legion rapes his mom.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's really messed up. Goes back in time, and okay, it's all off panel and it's all insinuated, but it definitely is pretty creepy for
We're
a
trying to
Marvel
have a
comic.
nice
of
show
things.
about gun dealing motorcycle gangs, and you bring up like raping comics.
Just listen to us discuss how absolutely insane it was to put that in a Marvel comic, and
Mark?
actually,
We're on a podcast with you. It was going to come up sometime.
yeah.
That's not true.
I know. I'm kidding, buddy.
Oh, that's not true. All right. And then upcoming here, I'm going to be recording a bunch of stuff here. I think at some point this week, it's going to be myself and Alexis Hannah. No, this is
That's next week. Next week, you and your girlfriend are talking.
Hey, listen, I don't know anything about the Gargoyles. Okay. Ronnie, you ever watch Gargoyles?
I love gargoyles. I remember
Okay.
being in GalaxyCon in Raleigh a couple years back, and it was about 10:30 at night, 10:30, and I was wandering around, and it doesn't close till 1. And I was like, what am I going to do? And there was just a marathon in a random room showing
Oh,
gargoyles.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
I know
so
a
I just
lot of.
went and sat down and watched like 4 episodes.
I know something about gargoyles too. They sometimes show up to some of the Polykink events that I go to in the area.
Now, I almost want to ask if that's true because,
Actual gargoyles, Jesse?
well, no, I'm just expecting somebody to show up in cosplay. Yeah. Ronnie,
And we've lost Ronnie.
Ronnie has exited the building. Now I'm not holding this guy to it, but supposedly, our good buddy, oh my goodness, Alexis's friend, help me
Dorian,
out here.
Zachary.
Dorian.
You good,
Dorian.
buddy?
No, we're there. Dorian has suggested that he may bring Keith David onto the podcast. The voice of Goliath. The guy that fought Roddy Piper in you're right.
Keith Davis, really?
That Keith David.
Wow.
He's like,
Good
I've got
bet.
his number. This all, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get overexcited. I haven't heard anything about it, but I swear to goodness, if that happens on the Source Material Comics podcast, you guys will never see me again. I'm retiring. I'm done.
It's not getting any better than that, huh?
It doesn't get any better
Between
than
that and Jesse takes the BDSM quiz, he's accomplished all of his goals.
Check. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be talking gargoyles. I know nothing about the franchise, but I've learned a lot here recently getting ready to talk about Here in Manhattan, which is the first 6-issue trade of the 2022 Gargoyles comic book, which is written by the same guy.
When was the last time you recorded with Alexa? It's been a while, right? It was like the last time you did something was a few years ago.
No, I did X-Men 97 with her.
No, I mean a comic book, you dork.
Oh, for source material. Yeah, it's been a while. We did TMNT Ronin.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last Ronin, right?
Yeah, last Ronin. That's right. Yeah,
Damn.
that was a good one, dude.
Yeah, if I'd known, man.
That was a good one. It was a real good
Alexis Alexis is big time on Jesse's comic books. You know, she just disappears for months at a time. She doesn't put the work in like I do, where I'm just like I'm like always picking books. We have a solid recording schedule. We do like 3 hours worth of material that he can cut up and do 22-minute podcasts of.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
But Alexis just like walks in the building. He's like, I'm pretty and have a comic. And Jesse's like, right this way, madam.
Please,
Please, to the
get
front
to
of
the
the line.
I'm going to cancel these shows with Mark. Give me just a second.
Yeah. You know what he won't cancel though is Strip Snap with Evan Bevins.
Hey, thanks for doing my plugs for me. That's right. We play Marvel Snap. We do not strip, but I have been streaming on YouTube lately. Some games, yeah, where I'm playing. Me and Nevin got together, played a game. We did our battle on there. We've kind of moved our battle that we usually did audio wise to YouTube to where we're battling on there, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been streaming a little bit here recently, and check that out. Marvel Snap, if you're interested. We usually do a show once a month, about 5 shows, 20 minutes a piece. And it usually hits all in 1 week. And, Mark Radulich gets some love. Our 3rd installment of Lois Lane is going to be happening next Monday. And the gag reel has returned. Mark Radulich can be happy.
Yeah.
There's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of us cutting up that I cobbled together from our discussion about Lois Lane, the search for truth. No, wait a second. Lois Lane, enemy of the people. Good discussion about journalism on there. I think I
rather enjoyed that. Jesse, we got some other stuff coming up.
Tell me.
Jesse and I are embarking on a new project, just me and Jesse. Nobody's allowed.
This is going to be fun.
So Jesse likes to use artificial intelligence to craft albums. Some of them are about, how he's just so sick of oatmeal. And others
that's the truth.
And others are about how he makes his wife make pizza rolls.
That's great. That's great.
Jesse had to tell you all about his eating habits through song.
I did. There's a whole album, Ronnie Adams, called Time to Eat. All right. It's called Time to Eat. It's nothing but songs about me eating and what I had for dinner or breakfast. But go ahead.
I know. I've listened.
Oh,
and they're in no way comical. This is just like
they're hilarious. They're damn hilarious.
It's him agonizing over his wife making oatmeal and her just like shamed. There's nothing in the house. Get a better job. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the next album. Actually, it's called "Get a Better Job."
Get out of the basement. Get out of the basement, you monster. Anyway, so inspired by this, Jesse and I are going to be getting together once every other month, and we're going to start compiling some songs together as we utilize the tool of artificial intelligence to create the Radulich and Broadcasting album. So this is the podcast is called Sessions, RIBN the album. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's hard because the creative process starts in my head, and I'm like, no, I got to save that for the podcast because that's where it's all got to happen.
Yep, we did it once. We did it. What was it January?
Oh,
where we live wrote a song.
Yes,
Queen of the Night, baby.
Queen of the
Not
Night.
about anyone. It's not about anyone specific.
Here come the eye roll. There it is. I knew it was coming.
It's not so much an eye roll as a side.
It was a side eye. You had to do the side eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
This will never hold up in court. So anyway, yes, we live wrote a song about a dainty little princess who looks for love in all the wrong places and occasionally vomits in a public
pulled
playroom.
into a Florida court by you. Oh, whip your butt.
They have to find the body first. Anyway, so
that escalated.
So yeah, Sessions, RB and the album, episode 1.
End of the month.
That goes live June 30th.
Perfect. That's all I got.
And then, hey, Jesse.
Mm.
Hey, Jesse. At some point, you and I are going to do another set of recordings. Yep, we're going to finish up the Jessica Jones Alias series.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That'll be fun.
That will be fun. All right. Ronnie Adams of the Screaming Boy podcast. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you playing with children? What? Tell me anything I said that was wrong in that sentence.
Everything was wrong in that sentence.
Nothing was wrong in that sentence.
Everything was wrong.
You play with children.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
There are adults there as well.
I didn't say they weren't.
Chaperones.
I really like role-playing games.
Let him do his plugs, Mark. Unbelievable.
Oh, I haven't harassed Ronnie like this in a while.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, I am what was that? One of my
Oh my God, get on with it.
Don't listen to him, Ronnie. Just tune him out. Tune him out.
One of my jobs is I'm a professional DM, dungeon master, or game master, GM. I have recently put into works restarting my stream. We are having a session 0 this coming Sunday to discuss what we're going to do, where we're going to go with it. We may stream that. I don't know, depending on what's going on. But we are going to be streaming Lost Mine of Phandelver for Dungeons and Dragons. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I have 2 pretty brand new players that are going to be joining us with this, and then like 3 vets. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be it's going to be different from what I've done in the past. You can catch that on Twitch, Misfits and Miscreants. That is our company name, I guess you could say. You can find us on Instagram. We are now an affiliate with Kraken Dice, which is legitimately, I was using their dice beforehand. And I love them. Kraken is a great dice company. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're all starting our separate streams as well for like video games and different things like that too. I also will have some games that are from different friends in different places in the U.S. and the world. We're going to be playing, stretching out beyond Dungeons and Dragons and playing such games as Call of Cthulhu, Candela Obscura, Everyday Heroes, Kids on Bikes, all kinds of cool stuff that we've got coming up. I'm really excited for this because we're taking our time and we're getting some things done, and we're going to do it right instead of just jumping into it. So yeah, it is. That's forthcoming. Like I said, you can catch us on Misfits and Miscreants on Twitch. and on Instagram and Facebook. We're pretty active on Facebook again. So yeah, if they're as far as that goes, that's pretty much what I do.
When are you hosting another podcast?
I'm hosting one with you coming up.
Nobody cares about that. When are you hosting your own?
Nobody cares about that.
I've been talking about that as well. There's going to be several podcasts that come along with our little company. There's going to be possibly I've got two friends that are going to be doing like a book club podcast, read a book, discuss it. It's gonna be really cool. And good news. I'm reviving Screaming Boy soon.
Oh, look
Oh my God.
out.
What is this, like the 5th version?
This will be the third. You
Version 5.
And it's going to be a little different. I'm going to have a couple of really cool co-hosts on there. One in particular I'm very excited about because I'm just going to spoil it. I talked to Pat Mullen.
Oh,
I think he's going to help me. He's going to help me out with it a little bit, and
that'd be nice.
it's going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be an every week thing or anything like that.
Pat's great if he doesn't have a date.
Well, I mean, I'm going to schedule it when he, when he doesn't.
So did I. A lot of good that did me.
Well, now that I have all the encouragement from the world from my loving friend Mark, just next time I'll stand up on the table so you can punch me in the nuts. You don't have to reach down.
Thanks. I don't want to reach.
Yeah.
Please put your bag in my face so I can hit it.
You like my bag in your face. But as far as that goes, that's about all we're doing right now. It is. I mean, there's a lot of irons in the fire, and they're all coming out. They're all coming out hot and ready, like a little Caesar pizza.
Awesome.
Well, they're all coming out. I'm coming out hot and ready is the phrase that pays here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network. So, for hot and ready, Ronnie Adams, and the bratty submissive Sons of Anarchy, the man who makes the artificial intelligence music, I'm very tired. Be well, be safe, and behave.